guys, welcome to Bastian time. This is This Week in Nintendo News. I have a mustache, let's get to those top stories. So just like usual, we've got a slew of Zelda stories to get through that were left over from This Week in Zelda News before we can get to our 5 or so Nintendo News stories. Quite a few Nintendo-specific stories this week. So first of all, we got a few Zelda fan creations. This one is a custom DS Lite. This looks professionally done, and frankly, if I didn't already have my okay, it's over here. If I didn't already have my fancy Zelda DS Lite official one, I would probably try to pick this up, although I don't think it's for sale. I think this guy just created it for himself, but really great job. It looks professional. Wow. Next up is a Zelda beer glass. This is a fan who has an Etsy shop where they custom etch a variety of sort of symbols into glassware, and so they've gone ahead and done a Zelda one. Looks pretty good. If you need a Zelda beer glass, you know where you can check the link out to get one. Similarly, if on a cold winter's night you want to hunker down and play some Ocarina of Time 3D or Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks, and you need a Zelda quilt to keep you warm, this Etsy artist custom makes these Zelda quilts and will take requests, custom orders for specific images that you want, so you wouldn't have to get the specific depiction of Link. Looks pretty comfy and it's a nice job, so if you want to check that out, there's a link down below. And then our final custom Zelda object is this N64, which is the actual console is custom Zelda-ized, and then the controller. Goodness, look at that controller. Really great job on it. I mean, maybe I might have made a few different choices for the controller personally, but it still looks pretty nice. It gets the Zelda theme across. Most impressive is the actual console, where they've cut out sections of it to show the Triforce. So anyways, really great job. And then our final Zelda-related story is about Triforce of Bass, which is a fan-made Zelda dubstep album. Well, the last half or so is dubstep. It's actually 3 separate EPs that are all sort of collected together, and the first EP is my personal favorite. It's more of just a simple chiptune style, but then the second 2 EPs, not quite my favorite. They're more dubstep-y, and I know a lot of you fans out there are probably definitely fans of dubstep. I am not, so I definitely really like the first few songs. So anyways, there's a link down below for you to check that out. And what's awesome about it is, like most fan-made albums these days, the artists allow you to pay whatever you want, even $0 if that's what you can afford. So definitely check it out if you're into electronic-y sort of Zelda remixing music. And now we've got our just Nintendo-specific stories. So first of all, the funny thing is, I actually cut a story out of last week's episode because of this new story, which originally last week's story was going to be about how hilarious it was that HMV was taking pre-orders and advertising Wii U's in the black color, which Nintendo had said was not going to happen at launch. It was just going to be the white Wii U at launch. So anyways, I made a news story about how hilarious that was that they were making another mistake again, because just a few weeks ago HMV made a huge gaffe where they had all these advertisements showing a second circle pad on the 3DS XL, which is not the case. But anyways, it turns out HMV might be right, because more and more online stores are taking pre-orders for the Black Wii at launch, and some fans have unearthed some code on Nintendo's website itself showing the possibility of a Black Wii at launch. So we'll have to wait and see, but it sounds like you might get to choose between 2 different colors for your Wii U. So speaking of Wii U rumors, the developer has accidentally maybe leaked what the Wii U's achievement sort of process is going to be called. In fact, we really didn't even know for sure that there was going to be one, because it's sort of not quite Nintendo's thing to have something like that, but if this developer is to be trusted, then it's called the Wii U Accomplishments. So Might be interesting to see how that unfolds and what sort of trophies or whatnots you can get in that. Next up is a quote from Mr. Iwata, the president of Nintendo, who basically said that Mr. Miyamoto's directive regarding new Super Mario Bros. Mario games is now that there should be one per platform. So that's kind of interesting. That explains why we got one for the DS, then we got one for the Wii, now we're getting one for the 3DS, and next up one for the Wii U. So it looks like their intention is to carry on with this series, but just one title per console. Our next story is about a patent that was revealed from Nintendo, showing an interesting way of doing multiplayer that I hadn't thought of before, which is that you could have a Wii remote, and be aiming that at your television screen, and then you could have a friend aiming their Wii Motion Plus Poly controller at the Wii U's GamePad screen, so you can both be having like a completely separate experience in the same world, and that's kind of interesting because previously we were just thinking that their whole asymmetrical gameplay multiplayer style was really just going to be how there's a difference between one person using the Wii U's GamePad and then other people using the television set and then some Wii Motion Plus controllers. But this shows that you could actually have two completely different viewing experiences with both people using Wii Motion Plus controllers as well, so kind of interesting. And the patent goes on to explain how it's designed so that the sensor bar on the Wii U's GamePad is completely separate from the sensor bar otherwise for the Wii U, and that it's set up to very easily tell the difference between those two sensor bars so that there's no confusion between them. So anyways, sounds like a really good idea. Anyways, that's it for this week in Nintendo news. See you guys in a few days for games like Zelda. Yep, I'm finally going to have a new episode up for that, so see you then. Bye. It's called Triforce of Bass, and it's basically a dubstep album. Well, I mean, the last half of it or so is a dubstep album. The first... My phone is telling me I need to water my tomato plants. They can wait.